Before changing out the arms, we must first put this in the service mode, stop the pump and the fluid from flowing. Okay, after putting it into the service mode, we're going to remove the number 1 arm and put the number 2 arm in. We're going to disengage the water lines by using the quick couplers, release the lock mechanism, pull the pin for the safety lock, lift the arm, remove it. Next, we're going to replace the electrode. With the number 2 arm comes an electrode that's a little longer so that we can reach to the tips. Okay, in order to change out the electrode, we're going to use a 17mm wrench to loosen the electrode. Once the electrode is loose, because of the fluid that's in the system, we want to tilt the gun up and then change out the tips. This reduces the amount of fluid that may be lost during the change out of the tips. You remove the electrode, there's a copper fitting. The taper end is always facing towards the tip on the electrode. Remove that, replace it with the longer tip, and again the tapered end is facing towards the electrode tip, and then reinstall the longer electrode and then secure tightly with the 17mm wrench. Next, we want to make sure that we put the same copper grease on the arm as we did on any other arm that's changed out. This gives us lubricant and also conductivity . Just a little bit of grease, then we're going to smear that around, make sure that we've got the contact areas covered. The one thing that's different with this number 2 arm is it does not have a safety pin. It has an Allen wrench to lock in place. So to install, we're going to simply engage the arm, drop it down, take the Allen and screw that down and make sure it's snug. And then engage the coolant lines. And then now we're going to lock using the lock mechanism on the arm. Once the lock mechanism is engaged, if it makes contact with the pin, adjustments are needed. To make adjustments, we're going to lift up the locking arm, and on the right hand side there's a set screw that we're going to need to use the Allen head wrench, loosen up the set screw, and then make adjustments on the knob on the right hand side. Once we get this set to where we have a gap between the pin and the lock mechanism, we can retighten the set screw using the Allen key and then firmly secure the lock arm in place. Before we calibrate, we want to always make sure the tips are cleaned. If we've done 200 welds with them, tips need to be replaced. To replace the caps, we're going to use the wrench that's provided with the system and give it a quick twist. The caps will pop off. Install with the new cap. Now we're ready to calibrate. Now that we've properly installed the number 2 C-arm, we can go ahead and take it out of the service mode and put it into auto mode. Once we go into auto mode, we're going to properly select the arm that we installed. It's going to ask me to calibrate, so I'm going to depress the top button. Comes up with a warning, says close clamp without steel for calibration. Depress the button one more time. You'll know that it's calibrated because the word calibration will disappear. Now we're ready to start welding. Place a coupon between those two. Depress the button again. It's going to automatically detect the material thickness, type of material, and it's going to automatically set the proper weld parameters for that material. It's going to come up on the screen and show that the weld was okay. It'll give me the amperage used for this, the time that it took for the weld, the force used for the weld, and also thickness of the material. And that's how simple it is to weld.